Hey everyone, welcome to another video on rates. Now today we're going to be talking about rates, but specifically through the concept we've touched on before, which is the unitary method. This idea of bringing everything to one, or bringing certain parts of our certain values in our question to one, because one is a very useful number, right? We can get any number to one, and we can make any number out of one. One is like the building block of all numbers, essentially. So for the start, we're going to do a couple of questions reviewing the unitary method through the idea of rates. And then we're going to do one question at the end in which we're going to convert units using the unitary method. Now, in our first question, we're going to say, Anna travels 105 kilometers in 7 identical car trips. So she's driven the same distance in each car trip. How far will she travel in 11 such car trips? So 11 car trips of the same distance. 11 trips. So what we're going to do to lay out our question, well, we're going to say 7 car trips. The distance in these 7 car trips is going to equal 105 kilometers. And the essence of what we're trying to do in this question and how we're going to use the unitary method is we want to get from 7 to 11. And what we do to get to here is we want to use the unitary method. We want to bring this down to how many kilometers she drive in one car trip, and then from there figure out how we'd get to 11 car trips from there. So to do this, we're going to say, all right, cool, 7 car trips. Let's find out how we're going to get to one car trip. Well, we can do that by just dividing by 7. And you remember these rates work in a similar way as equations do, in the sense that what we do to one side, we're going to do to the other side. So I can kind of see this by just the equation I've made here, by this equal sign. So to find one car trip, I'm going to find how long that is, how the distance of that, by dividing 105 by 7. And that's going to tell me, okay, that one car trip is going to equal 15 kilometers, the value I get when I divide 105 by 7. Now, how do I get from one car trip to 11? Well, the usefulness of this number 1 is that we can bring any number to 1 by dividing it by itself. See here, we divided 7 by 7, that gets us to 1. And we can get 1 to any number by just multiplying it by that number. So I can get from 1 to 11 by multiplying 1 by 11. And I'm going to do this to both sides here. So this is going to tell me now that 11 car trips is going to equal 15 times 11, which is 165 kilometers. Now, let's try one more question of this sort to get you used to this idea and applying the unitary method to rates. But for question 2, we say a truck uses 4 liters of petrol to travel 36 kilometers. How far will it travel if it uses 70 liters of petrol? So how far using 70 liters of petrol? And you can see once again, this is a process of getting from 4 liters to 70 liters. And we can always do this using the unitary method. So I'm going to say here that I travel 36 kilometers for 4 liters. Now from here, I can go, all right, I've traveled 36 kilometers for 4 liters. How much will I travel for 1 liter? Because the number 1 is very useful for getting us to any other number. So I'm going to find this by, well, dividing by 4, because this is going to give me 1 liter here, and it's going to tell me how far I've traveled in 1 liter, using 1 liter of petrol. And now we get, cool, I've traveled 9 kilometers for 1 liter. So dividing 36 by 4 gives me 9. Dividing 4 by 4 gives me 1. And that makes sense because we always want to get to 1 when we use our unitary method. Now from here, let's center this. I want to get from 9 kilometers, from 1 liter to 70 liters. I can do that by multiplying by 70 here, and then multiplying by 70 here. And that's going to tell us, well, how much am I using, how far am I driving for 70 liters of petrol? This is kind of useful, right? So you don't get stuck on the highway. This is where maths has very real world applications in terms of rates. So timesing 9 by 70 gives me 630 kilometers. And this is the distance traveled for 70 liters of petrol. Now, let's look at one more question in which we're converting units. Now, this is where our rates get a little bit trickier because I can convert rates. Rates deal with all different units, relationships between, for example, distance and time, right? We've looked at that before, between amount of money per hour, right? Money per time. So we can change our units based on what we know about measurements and still use the unitary method here. So this question tells us Mel earns $57.60 for a 4-hour shift. How much does she earn? Does she earn in cents per minute? So you can see here, both the units have changed. We have dollars per hour, and we want to change that to cents per minute, right? So this seems like a bit of a massive task to do, but if we use our unitary method, we can actually get there in quite a nice, easy way. So what I'm going to write here, I'm going to do the exact same thing that I've done for my other questions. I say that Mel makes $760 for 4 hours. And I want to reduce, and now I can go either one first, but what I'm going to do in this particular question is I want to get from 4 hours to minutes. I want to get from 4 hours to 1 minute. So you can already probably suspect that we're going to have multiple steps happening here. So, well, first of all, before I can get my 4 hours to minutes, let me just get 4 hours to 1 hour, because I know how many minutes are in 1 hour, and that'll make my conversion a bit easier. So I know Mel makes $57.60 for 4 hours, so I can divide both of these by 4 to find how much she'll make in 1 hour. Now, dividing both of these by 4, I get $14.40 for 1 hour. Okay, but now I want to get from hours to minutes, and we know that there are, from multiple videos we've done in the past, that there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. So this 1 hour, we can rewrite as 60 minutes. So Mel, in other words, makes $14.40 for 60 minutes. And now I'm speaking the same language, right? I was kind of talking in different languages here because I had hours and minutes and I need to do a little bit of conversion. And this will get me to this part of my rate, the minutes, something per minute. So here, if I have $14.40 for 60 minutes, how much will that be for 1 minute? Well, I can get from 60 minutes to 1 minute by dividing by 60. And I'm going to do that to both parts of my rate, right? These change together. That's the main thing we need to understand because $14.40 for 60 minutes, I can't change one thing but not the other because I can't now say $14.40 for 1 minute. Well, that doesn't make sense, right? We have to divide both by 60 because we're going to be making less than $14.40 if we do this for every minute, right? So we're going to be dividing both parts of this. And okay, that means I get, actually, what I'll do, before we even do this, let's shift this down. We can actually make this a lot easier by converting this thing, because we want this in cents in the end. So we can get this thing to cents because the final answer is in cents per minute. So I was going to take an extra step to do this, but we can just do this in one step. Well, I've converted my 1 hour to 60 minutes, so I can convert my dollars to cents as well. Now, there are 100 cents in a dollar, so I can write 1440 as 1,440 cents for 60 minutes, right? I've converted the spot from here to here, from this point to this point, was the idea of converting the units over. We converted the units for both my dollars. I got my dollars to cents, and I got my hours from further up here, my hour to minutes. And now I have these in terms of the units I want in the answer. See, I have here cents per minute. How much does she earn in cents per minute? And now I have my rate expressed as cents per minute. Now I just need to get this 60 to 1. Instead of 60 minutes, I want 1 minute. So dividing both sides by 60, I'm going to get 24 cents dividing 1,440 by 60 gives me 24 cents, and my 60 divided by 60 gives me 1 minute. So I can either write this like this, or I can write it as 24 cents per minute. If you remember our rates, we can express with this little slash, and this is essentially saying that we make 24 cents per minute, or 24 cents for each minute. But thank you so much for joining me, guys. This is how we can, hopefully, this has given you an appreciation for the power of the unitary method and how we can use this. But we'll leave it here today, and we'll continue on rates in the future videos. Thank you so much for watching.